chip and a pitch is a use of your wrists. When you chip, you should try to keep the angles from the left arm, the lead hand and the club always in the same position. So eventually you'll be turning with the same axe and the same motion. There's no rotation in the hand or wrist. From the moment you make the click in the backswing, we call it a pitch. Not only the motion is different, but also the choice of your clubs. You could chip very easily with a rescue, or you can take a 6-iron or 7-iron. You can take a pitching wedge, and eventually the ball should go higher because of the loft, and it should run less when you take a sandwich. Now, in that motion, the ball will just go higher and have a little bit more spin, but not much. When you use a pitch movement, you'll be using more lofted clubs. So I'll be using a sandwich, a lob wedge, a pitching wedge, and maybe the gap wedge, 52 degree. When I make a pitching movement, I'll be using the wrist more, so the ball should fly higher and stop faster. I could give more speed from a pitching movement than with a chipping movement. If you need the ball to stop very fast on the green, you might choose a pitching movement. So because then you get more spin onto the ball. When you make a chipping action with a sandwich, the ball will just go high enough, but it won't have the same amount of spin.
So here we have a basic chip shot. Pin is right in front of me. All I need to do is roll the ball right up next to the pin. So first shot, I'm gonna hit a low chip. It's gonna be same grip, same narrow setup, just like a putt, just like we covered in the first video. The difference is I'm gonna play the ball on my back foot, and I'm gonna hit it just like a putt. Make sure I keep my shoulders and my chest moving, and the ball should come out nice and low and roll up right next to the flag. Ball came out nice and low, bounced, trickled a little bit right next to the hole. If I wanted to, I could hit a higher chip shot using the same club and nearly the same setup. The only difference is I'm going to open up the blade of this club just a little bit, and instead of playing it off my back foot, I'm going to play it off my front foot. I'm going to remember to keep my weight forward, just like in the original chipping and pitching video. You always want your weight on your forward side. And then from there, once I've got the blade open and the ball in the front of my stance, it's going to be all the same. Just a nice, smooth putting stroke, keeping my shoulders and chest moving. Ball came out a little higher, landed a little softer, still rolled towards the hole. So if you practice those two shots, it's a very easy change. Just move the ball back in your setup or forward, open the blade a little bit to hit it higher, and you can have a couple more options around the green. So now I'm going to talk about how you can do that with your pitch shot. So if we back up here a little farther away from the green, we're going to talk about controlling the height with your pitch shot. So you essentially do it in the same way. Most of it comes from the setup. We're going to take the same setup that we did in our original chipping and pitching video. Nice narrow setup, weight favored on your front side. We're going to make sure we keep our chest and our arms moving. The only addition is we talked about the hinging of the wrists in the first video. So my wrists are going to hinge and then they hold to hit a low shot. I'm going to play the ball back, hinge and hold, keep a nice low finish to hit a low pitch shot. And then when I go to hit the high shot, the difference is the same as the chip. I'm going to play the ball forward in my stance, open the blade, and instead of hinging and holding low, I'm going to let the club unhinge, and I'm going to finish high with the shaft of the club pointed towards the sky. So if you can master those two shots, it takes a little practice. Best advice I can give you, keep your weight forward, keep your chest and your arms moving, nice and smooth. And especially for this shot, the high shot where you want the club shaft finishing towards the sky, keep it nice and smooth. Practice sweeping the grass, keeping your body down through impact so that you don't blade the ball or stick the club in the ground and get a chunk shot. So this one's a little tougher to master, but with the right practice you can get it. Now I'm going to demonstrate the low shot first. Play the ball back in my stance, same grip, same setup, weight favoring my front side. Make sure to keep my chest and arms moving, and I'm going to hinge and hold low to hit a low pitch shot towards the flag. You can see I kept my chest and arms moving, my body released towards the target. Now I'm going to try and hit that high shot. It's going to generate a little more loft, go higher, land softer, roll less. So I've got the ball up in my stance, the blade opened just a little bit, and then from there I'm going to hinge and let the club unhinge and finish high towards the sky.